you would have invested 1 lakh rupees in 2020, you would have generated 48 lakh rupees. 48 lakh rupees. This is true. You can check it in the graph. I am showing you in the graph in the trading view only, the real graphs. Okay. This is very much possible in the stock market. That's how, millionaires and billionaires have come up, like Warren Buffett and all. Just knowing the right time and right stock to invest and wait for it to grow and, compound it again and again. It will bring you wealth. It will bring you money. Okay. Welcome to another episode of Nice Trade Investing Insights. And today we'll be discussing a topic that has caught the attention of many people around there. That is the potential benefit of investing in stocks and mutual funds over the traditional fixed deposits.
It's a question to NTV. My name is Sayonara. I'm planning to do my higher studies in UK after my graduation, but I want to earn some money for my studies and I have some money that I've inherited from my father. So could you please give me some good advice on how to make some more money out of the capital that I have?
My question for Nice Trade is that my neighbor who has recently sold his land has enough money with him and he's confused with what to do with that money, whether he needs to invest in some mutual funds or something like that, or whether he should go for a fixed deposit in a bank account. So I believe Nice Trade will be able to answer this question. Thank you.
TV, my name is Mohammed Suhail. I'm a property consultant working with TPG in Qatar. Well, I was just wondering what are some of the risk-free or low-risk investment plans for my future from my salary. I mean, had a brief understanding about SIPs and FDs. I would be really happy to know more about various kinds of SIPs in the market and some of the major names. Do you mind explaining me? Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mr. Saeed, Suhail, and Sayonara for asking this question. I get the exact same questions from many people around there when I'm going to restaurants, tea shops, or for playing a football or something like that. People usually ask me, what is the best avenue to invest, whether it is a mutual fund or a stock or the traditional fixed deposit or bonds or the cryptocurrencies or all that. All that questions I have been receiving from a multitude of people around there. But even in my WhatsApp and the Instagram DMs, people exactly ask the same questions. So I would like to answer this question based on some statistics. So I drag your attention to the statistics where we are comparing the benefits of investing in FD, mutual fund and stocks with the real life example. So please be with me till I complete the statistical analysis of all these three investment avenues. Pay attention to the real life example of returns that is generated by fixed deposit, mutual fund, and some of the beautiful stocks that have given tremendous return, unbelievable return over the last 3 years. So if you're watching this video for the first time, I would advise you to go and watch the first part of this segment that is pinned in the first comment, or you can go to the playlist of Financial Freedom and watch that. That is very important because I already mentioned that when you are coming to stock market for investing or trading, it is very crucial to make a decision whether you want to be an investor or a trader. If you have decided to be a trader and an investor, this video will be a helpful video for you. So keep watching till the end. So as we go further, we will see what is the return made by the fixed deposits over the last 3 years. So you have decided to be an investor in the stock market after you watch the last video. Imagine that you have taken the decision to be an investor. So you're having 1 lakh rupees in your hand after the contingency fund that you set aside. So based on that example, we can imagine what that amount will be if you have invested in fixed deposit mutual funds as lump sum, in mutual fund as SIP, that is systematic investment plan, or if you have invested it in any of the good performing stocks in India. So let's go for watching what would have been the effect if we have invested it in the fixed deposits. So you can go to Grow's website. There you can see compound interest calculator. So in that we are giving as our example 1 lakh rupees as principal amount. You know that the basic rate of interest rate that is given by most of the banks in India is 6.5 or 7%. We are taking 6.5 in this example for 3 years time. As we told, the minimum period should be 3 years for a long-term investment as per our example. So if we invested that for 3 years in the past, the FD return would be 20,000 rupees. That the banks, if you have invested in any banks, the return would be 20,000 rupees for 3 years. Let's look what will be the return if it is invested in the mutual fund as lump sum. You can go to the Grow's website. You will be getting some information there also about investing in mutual funds as lump sum. So in this example, we are taking it lump sum as 1 lakh rupee and for 3 years. The return is 12%, and the estimated return would have been 40,000 rupees for 3 years time. If you have invested in a mutual fund that have given you 12% return per annum, that would have been generated around 40,000 rupees profit in a span of 3 years as lump sum if you have invested as lump sum. Or let's go and check if you have invested it as systematic investment plan, that is SIP, in which the investment is made like in a systematic way, monthly or bi-monthly. From your salary you are setting aside some money. So in this example, if you have to generate 1 lakh over 3 years, you should invest 2,770 per month. So if you are taking that for 3 years, if you would have invested 2,770 for a span of 3 years, you would have generated around 20,000 rupees by the end of 3 years. You have to imagine that in this case you are not fully allocating your capital. Instead you are just allocating when you are starting your investment, you are only allotting your 2,700 rupees. In the second month it is just becoming just greater than 6,000 rupees. Like that for 3 years you are putting it small and small and small like that. So at the end of 3 years, your capital will be 1 lakh rupees, but you would have generated 1,20,000 rupees. When we are comparing to the fixed deposit interest that is given by banks, this is a par amount, but you have to understand that you are not allocating a full amount. That is not possible by many of the common people in India. I drag you to the third example, that is a very interesting example, that is investing in the stocks which have given tremendous returns over time over the last 3 years. So let's see what would have been our income if we have invested our 1 lakh rupees in certain stocks that is listed in BSE or NSE in India. Long-term investment in stocks have generated many billionaires and millionaires in India and around the world. So it's a very interesting segment to be invested. This is a very wealth generating segment to be invested. So but the only thing is that you have to know which stock is to be invested in and at what time. So this is about choosing right stock at the right time. So what Nice Trade is providing is that the service of you picking the right stocks and recommending it for you for free cost. So please subscribe this channel and follow our updates. We will be giving you some research backed recommendations of certain stocks that will be giving some beautiful return over long term or even for a short term period of time. We are looking investments in stocks. Let's look what would have been that 1 lakh rupees if we have invested in certain stocks. Let's take Elecon Engineering. We are taking candles and scale to measure the return from October 2022 till date. The Elecon has given 2716 percentage. Just listen, 2716 percentage, one single stock. Can you imagine that? If you would have invested 1 lakh rupees in this stock in 2020, that 1 lakh would have become 27 lakh. When the same 1 lakh have given you 20,000 from a bank deposit, this stock is giving you 27 lakh rupees. Just because you knew about this stock, you knew about the fundamental and potential about these stocks. There are a multitude of stocks around there which have given tremendous returns. Even 10,000% is possible, but that kind of stock didn't come in my radar, so I'm not introducing such kind of stocks here. All these stocks are in my list, in my watch list. That's why I am introducing it to you. There may be other stocks which have given more than this, but I don't know. I am not introducing that. But you see, 27 lakh is given in 3 years' time. At the same time, you have to compare it with the fixed deposit interest that banks gave to you. Okay. I would tell you, if you may be knowing that in order to get double your investment, it takes almost 11.5 years in a bank settlement, which means if you are investing in a bank deposit, it takes almost 11.5 years to get double to your investment, which means if you are investing 1 lakh rupees in a bank, it takes 11 or 12 years to get it doubled and become 2 lakh rupees. Just imagine how much time did you save when you are investing in stocks. So this is only because you are not knowing the potential of stock or investing long-term stocks. You are just misunderstood that the stock market is a scam only because some ignorant people have played some gambling in options and futures. They will blame the stock market as scam because of their ignorance. But people who have brain, they analyze stocks and investing in it for long term and become millionaires and rich. This is very much possible. And this is very true only. Okay, let's see the next stock, which is Gland Pharma, which have given negative return over the last 3 years. So you have to understand that also. This is all about picking the right stocks. If you are invested in some stocks, it is not necessary to get hold of that stock forever. You have to analyze that stock, and sometimes that stock may fall and give you almost 100% of your capital. But when you lose, the maximum loss you will be having will be your capital, and when you gain, there is unlimited potential. That is what the play of market. 1 lakh rupees in KDDL 3 years ago, it would have been 13 lakh rupees. And what about Cholamandalam investing company, which has give you 860%, which means you would have generated 8,60,000 rupees over 3 years' time. Okay, Big Block is another stock that has gave you a tremendous return, and which gave you almost 3,000% in the last 3 years. 3,000%, which means 1 lakh has become 30 lakh rupees in 3 years. All these are real life examples that have generated money in the stock market. Another one is Mangalam Organics has generated a negative return of almost, you know, 69%. So it's very crucial. If you have invested in some stocks, you have to it is not like that, if you have invested for long term or for 3 years, you shouldn't, go and watch it. You have to watch and update about the, updates about the stock market, whether that stock is performing well in the financials, what are their numbers, and what are the news surrounded by that stock. Otherwise, you'd be in a position of Adani investors. You may be knowing that what happened to them in the last 6 months. That is getting recovered, but even though there might be some investors who came to know about the plummeting later stage and panicked, and they sold their entire investment at a very loss, very high loss. So it happens. So I would advise you, if you are invested for 3 years, it's not like that, you have to watch it, and buy and forget things never, work. There are people who tell you buy and forget. It never works. You have to watch it, not on a daily basis, not on a weekly basis also, but monthly basis. You have to watch and update about the news and numbers about the company. That would be very good. Otherwise, at some point of time the stock will be falling. And for long term investment also, you have to keep a stop loss. You have to decide at what percentage you will suffer your loss and exit out of that. That would be recommended. So this is the very beautiful stock that came in my radar, that is BLS International, which would have gave you 4,800% over the last 3 years. If you would have invested 1 lakh rupees in 2020, you would have generated 48 lakh rupees. 48 lakh rupees. This is true. You can check it in the graph. I am showing you in the graph in the trading view only, the real graphs. Okay. This is very much possible in the stock market. That's how, millionaires and billionaires have come up, like Warren Buffett and all. Just knowing the right time and right stock to invest and wait for it to grow and, compound it again and again. It will bring you wealth. It will bring you money. Okay. But I advise you that don't, go for trading or investing without any knowledge. You would have to, as I told in the earlier episodes of Nice Trade videos, you will have to learn yourself the basics of, market, trading, investments, and the technical analysis, fundamental analysis, everything you have to learn yourself. 6. Many people in India are hesitant to explore other investment options apart from fixed deposits. The key takeaway here is that investing in stocks and mutual funds can potentially provide higher returns compared to fixed deposits. While fixed deposits offer stability and security, they may not keep pace with the rising inflation and growing financial goals. By diversifying our investments into stocks and mutual funds, we give ourselves a better chance of growing our wealth and achieving our long-term financial goals. So don't give your money to anybody for investing. If at all they trap you, you cannot go and sue against them, because it's not legal to do that. So you cannot go for a case and get your money refunded and all. So that's very illegal. Don't do that. If you have any questions to be asked to Nice Trade, we'll be happy to address that. You can comment such kind of questions related to stock market and other investing things. You can comment in the comment section. And if you have any other doubts, you can record that doubt in a landscape format in your phone and send us to the WhatsApp number given here. Or you can send that video to the Nice Trades Instagram channel. So if you have any questions, you can record it and send us. We'll be happy to address, and we'll be coming up with the next episode with that questions. So I hope this episode gave you some value. If you haven't watched the previous episode, you watch it before that, and make a decision whether you want to be a trader and investor and walk along with Nice Trade. So having said that, this is Niyaz Gupta signing off from Nice Trade. Thank you for watching. Keep subscribed and keep sharing our videos.